Okay, so picture this, an AI that doesn't just hear what you're saying, it feels what you're feeling. We're about to dive into this incredible and kind of scary new technology and the huge debate it's kicking off about where we draw the line.
You know, it seems like a simple question, right? But it unlocks a whole world of possibilities. And yeah, some serious problems. Every single time we talk, we're not just sending information, we're actually revealing a little piece of ourselves. So what happens when tech can understand that hidden language? I mean, think about it. Think about the difference between when you say, "I'm fine," and you're genuinely happy, versus when you say, "I'm fine," but you're really trying to hide that you're totally bummed out. That difference? That's the music we're talking about. The rhythm, the pitch, those tiny hesitations that give away how we really feel. And as we're about to see, this stuff could even be a window into our health.
So, you might be wondering, how on earth is this even possible? Well, let's take a look at the groundbreaking AI that's learning to listen in a way we have never, ever seen before.
Right. So this is not your everyday speech-to-text AI, the one that types out your messages. No, we're talking about an AI that analyzes the sounds, the acoustic patterns in your voice to figure out your emotional and even your cognitive state. It's not about what you say. It's all about how you say it. It's a huge leap from just speech-to-text to, speech-to-feel.
And to really see this in action, let's talk about a brand new AI model called SpeechFormer++. Now, older models, they kind of struggled to process all that complex, layered information in our voices, at least not efficiently. SpeechFormer++, though, is a massive leap forward. It gives us a really powerful, kind of elegant way to decode all those subtle vocal cues.
So, think of it like building a sentence. It starts small with the individual letters, these tiny little fragments of sound they call frames. Then it groups them together into what are basically sound words or phones, and then finally it looks at the whole sentence to get the full meaning and emotion. This whole layered approach gives the AI this incredibly rich contextual understanding of what's really being said.
And this is where you can see the absolutely immense potential for good. I mean, just imagine your phone being able to screen for signs of depression just from a normal conversation, or an app that could pick up on the very early signs of Alzheimer's just from the sound of a loved one's voice. I mean, wow. These are the kinds of life-changing applications this technology is promising.
But whenever you have technology that's this powerful, a huge question pops up, right? What are the risks? Because when you have the power to decode our deepest feelings, well, that comes with a massive potential for misuse.
Seriously, what happens when this kind of intimate tech is just everywhere? Could your boss be monitoring your frustration levels in real time? Could a school track a student's attention just by listening to their voice? And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. These are the very real, very immediate ethical questions we're facing right now.
So, with those risks in mind, let's shift gears and see how regulators are trying to get ahead of this. The European Union, in particular, has decided to act, and they're acting decisively. And look, the EU isn't just talking about it. They are taking action. Their big landmark AI Act is already rolling out, and some key parts are coming into effect really, really soon. This timeline just shows you how quickly these new rules are about to become our reality.
Okay, now what's so interesting here is how directly this law tackles the very risks we were just talking about. Look at that first line, banning emotion recognition at work and at school. That is a direct response to the kind of AI we've been exploring. The Act is basically drawing these clear red lines around things they see as an unacceptable risk to our rights.
But here's the thing. The Act is also pretty nuanced. It's not just a blanket no to everything. So while it says you can't use emotion detection at your job or in your kid's classroom, it still allows it in other commercial situations. So, an AI chatbot figuring out a customer is frustrated to provide better service, or a smart billboard that changes an ad based on the mood of people walking by. Under these rules, that stuff is still on the table.
And just to prove they mean business, the penalties for breaking these rules are, well, they're massive. We're talking up to 35 million euros, or 7% of a company's global annual income. These are the kinds of fines that are designed to make even the biggest tech giants sit up and pay very, very close attention.
So where does all of this leave us? Well, it leaves us with this fundamental challenge for our time, one that pits progress squarely against protection.
It really is the classic push and pull story, isn't it? On one side, you've got this incredible push for innovation, the potential to diagnose diseases earlier, to create truly helpful tech. But on the other side, you've got this absolutely essential pull for protection, the need to protect our privacy, our freedom, and our basic rights from being manipulated.
And that's really the key takeaway here. This whole thing isn't about choosing one over the other. The whole point of smart regulation like the EU's AI Act isn't to stop progress dead in its tracks. It's to channel it, to steer it in a direction that actually benefits all of us, building guardrails to make sure that technology serves humanity, and not the other way around.
Which brings us to our final question, and this one is really for you to think about. The EU has drawn its line in the sand, but this is a global conversation, and it's really just getting started. As this tech becomes a bigger part of our lives, where do you think that line should be drawn? How much are we willing to share for the promise of a better future?